it's interesting for people to know, just in working environments, relationships, that people care just as much about how they're treated over the number.
People,
and maybe it's not over, but it's just as, it's an equal.
My pastor, and again, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but you know, I love God, and I'm thankful for all the blessings that He's given me. And one of the greatest blessings He's given me is my pastor, A.R. Bernard, at the Christian Cultural Center in Brooklyn, New York. He is a man that is near and dear to my heart, and I love him eternally. And a lot of times I use him as that litmus test per se, or that morality gauge per se, for lack of better words. Sorry if that's not good enough. I want to make sure he knows when I'm on the air and I'm bragging, when I'm having a good time trying to make people laugh, I'm joking around and something. He knows that's not my MO, you know. So it's like he knows that about me. If I'm sitting there, I look good. Hell no, I don't think I look that good. I'm not ugly. I'm not Godzilla, but I don't think I'm some male model. I ain't Zoolander, okay? Sure. I'm not that guy, all right? That's not me, all right? But here's the thing. At this industry, that I'm in, of television, of broadcast television, stuff like that, I believe I'm the best there is. I ain't apologizing for it to anybody. No. I think I'm the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
My pastor knows why I feel that way.
Why is that?
My sisters and my family and my closest friends know why I feel that way. Number one, I always use this line, I'm brilliant because I know I'm not. I steal from those who are. And I learn from them. And I disseminate that level of brilliance that I got from other people, always giving them credit, number one. Number two, here's the biggest thing. I think I'm the best because I think about the company. I know Bob Iger, the CEO of Walt Disney. I know George Bodenheimer, the former president of ESPN ABC. I know Jimmy Pitaro, the present president of ESPN, who's a really, really good man. Norby Williamson, Dave Roberts, pick up former bosses like John Skipper, John Wildhat, Connor Shell, or whatever. I challenge any human being alive to go to any of them and ask them what my dedication was to winning. What is winning? It's not my definition. They define it. When you represent a brand, the brand decides what winning is. You can't sit up there and say, this is what winning is to me. No.
It's not your company, yeah.
I'm a big dude. I'm a big deal, they say. I'm the most recognizable face on ESPN, blah, blah, blah. Man, you bigger than ESPN. No, I'm not. They'll be just fine without me. NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, list goes on and on. I'm a lot of things. I ain't a $22 billion a year conglomerate.
Right.
That's not who I am. I'm not that big. I'm not Walt Disney. But you know what? Whatever Walt Disney's mission is, how can I help? So, as I say in the book, how can I make my bosses more money? How can I get some of it?
Right.
That mentality
That's a game changer.
is what makes me the best.
That's a game changer.
Because what I'm saying is, I'm not saying I'm the best because I articulate myself on television better than anybody else. Even though I think I work as hard as anybody, but I work more than anybody. Yeah. Or that I got, even though I've been number one for 11 years in morning television, pardon the interruption, is number one on ESPN, not me. I'm a lot of things. I'm not my brother, Michael Wilbon. I'm not my brother from another mother, Tony Kornheiser. I'm not those guys. They're the institution. You see what I'm saying? I understand who I am. But what I'm saying is that you show me what winning is for the brand, and I'm going to bust my butt to go and get it for you. Don't forget me. Make sure you reward me, or I'll go someplace else that does.
Treat me well, yeah.
Treat me well. I'll find a way to go someplace where I will be treated well, even if it's on my own, like I'm doing with my own podcast. I will do all of those things, okay? All I'm saying is that That is what I believe makes me the best. It's my commitment to excellence for the collective whole.
That's incredible.
Not just me. I don't go on First Take. I'm the executive producer of First Take. The boss has handed me carte blanche. I'm the one that determines the rundown every day. I'm the one that goes on TV every day and executes it. The people that contribute to First Take have been handpicked by me. I picked them, okay? I'm the one responsible. Do I have bosses to answer to? Dave Roberts, yes. Jimmy Pitaro, yes. Nobby Williamson, yes. Bob Iger, yes. I have to answer to these people, no question. They're the bosses. But they've made me the boss of First Take.
Right.
Okay? Antoine Lewis, exceptional black man, be a producer for First Take. James Dunn, Sam Tanucci, Nick Sciallo, all of these guys, phenomenal guys. But I'm the one that they put it on the shoulders, okay? I understand every day. What would Dave Roberts want? What would Jimmy Pitaro want? What would Bob Iger want? I'm not saying that those decisions are the final decisions that I make because they left it up to me.
Sure.
And sometimes I believe that my thought process, it's rare, but sometimes I believe that my thought process might be a little bit different than theirs and it might work better for this particular show. But there is never a moment that I'm on the air that I don't think about what they want. And a lot of people will sit up and say, what kind of true independence is that? Stop it. The fact of the matter is you're getting a check from somebody else. You have an obligation to think about them.
Sure.
And a lot of times, it's just like a musician. If you Jay-Z, you running Rock Nation, you're a billionaire, blah, blah, blah. Do you make music just for yourself or do you think about what the audience would want?
Wow.
What about the record company the people that you employ? Who do they think about? You know, we have the president of the United States, leader of the free world. Want to get reelected? Don't you got to think about what your constituency wants? Everyone has to think about somebody. It is absolutely silly and erroneous and disingenuous to convey a message that says otherwise.
Yeah.
And that's what I know.
That is brilliant you said this because if everyone could take this in and realize it's about the win-win.
Yeah.
It's about how can, when I was playing high school ball as a freshman, trying to make the varsity.
Right.
And I wasn't as good yet, but I was tall, so they put me in there, right?
Right.
I would listen to the coach and say, and complaining about some of the starters who weren't hustling. He said, we need more hustle.
Yeah.
I need you guys diving for balls, jumping out of bounds. And I was just like, I'm going to be the hustle guy, right? I'm going to do what he needs, what he wants, so I can play and try to help him win.
Right.
And that got me on the team.
Right.
It's like working for a company. It's like if you can help the company make more money, and show them that, they're going to want to continue to support your growth.
Yeah.
The win-win. So this is, for me, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people probably think you think that way.
They don't.
So for me to know that you're thinking of like, how can I make this the best show in the world? Obviously for me,
Yes.
but for the company to succeed.
Right.
The win-win.
Yeah.
That's why you're one of the
And
best.
that's why I can be in a negotiation and I'm looking at them with a raised eyebrow. How you gonna treat me?
Right.
Because the names that I mentioned, along with everyone else at that company, knows that about me.
Yeah.
So if you know that about me, why would you undercut me? Why would you lowball me?
Yeah.
Why would you put me through stress and strife when you know I'm trying to do this for you? Because those are the things that are going to determine my tenure here. You see, because you do get to a point in life where you got new regimes coming in, you got people that have been reassigned, repositioned, and they got their own vision and they want their own people. Well, they don't always tell you in corporate America, and I'm not talking about ESPN, or Disney, I'm talking about in general. They don't always tell you they don't want you anymore. They just have little ways of showing you.
Right.
And so when you realize that, it's incumbent upon you to say, I got the message. It's time to make new plans. And so the beauty of the business that I'm in, the business I've chosen to be in, is that instead of working around the clock trying to figure out what somebody else wants from you, good or bad, there are moments that crystallizes it for you in your mind. Pay attention and you'll see what they are.
Yeah.
And you'll know what to do accordingly.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to leave. Don't be scared to bet on yourself. You're going to be scared anyway because it is scary. But at the same time, betting on yourself isn't always leaving. Betting on yourself is believing in you. Knowing who you are, what you're worth, having an idea about it anyway. and willing to work towards that, to validate that reality. That's betting on yourself.
Right.
Whatever decision emanates from that is based off of you looking at you and saying, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote my book. That's why I have my podcast and all of this other stuff,
Sure.
because that's the point I reached. And from that point forward, the mission was to find what I love to do and discover whether or not I can make a living actually doing it. And when it came to sports, obviously I was incredibly confident. I wasn't incredibly confident as a player per se, because